Yes, we are good.
Hello. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another uh, fascinating and, as usual, enriching episode of Beyond Code. Those who are joining for the first time and uh, want to understand what this podcast series is all about, our mission is very simple and yet profound, and that's why we all are here. Our mission is to bring forward the personal and professional stories of people who have made a mark in the technology arena, and they have uh, from humble beginnings to becoming leaders, right? So we want to just unravel their stories. Through these conversations, we aim to unearth wisdom, strategies, and experiences of industry veteran that can enlighten, educate, and inspire our community of not only young professionals but also seasoned practitioners, right? And this is, I think, we started with few audience when this podcast started. We started with very few audience and maybe a couple of episodes. But now, from our humble beginnings to almost, we are reaching almost some 25th episode of this podcast series. So it's been a journey so far, and we want to take this ahead to reach the larger glory that we are envisioning. And talking about humble beginning, the episode or the theme of this episode is it's quite personal to me. I think this is a uh, episode where we unravel a story of a person who's coming from humble beginning, educated in a vernacular medium. Our guest has really transcended the barriers, shattering the so-called glass ceilings to become a director of engineering of a large firm. Right, his journey is not just one of climbing the corporate ladder, but also it's a deep story. It's a narrative that underlines the essence of what dedication and an unwavering love for their art will do. Right, and that's why persistence and commitment is something that we want to explore through this conversation. So, those who are listening, please join us as we unravel the multiple layers of determination that had led our guest from the so-called classrooms of a local language school to the boardrooms of tech leadership. Uh, we will not only explore the pivotal movement or movements that fueled his passion, but we'll also explore the challenges that he turned into stepping stones, and his relentless commitment that had propelled him to the success that we are. Whether you are a student, a professional, or simply someone who's just looking for an inspiration to just chase your dreams, I think this is the conversation that may ignite a small spark within you, right? So join me, and I'll be in all fervor with a deep uh, you know with excitement. I want to welcome our guest for tonight, Saurabh Srivastava, who is currently Director of Engineering at Itlite. So, Saurabh, it gives me, first of all, it gives me an immense pleasure to not only welcome you and to put forth the story of your success that you have lived currently in front of our audience, but also to interact with you on this platform and understand, because uh, your journey is a journey that a lot of us are currently relating to it, right? So once again, welcome to the podcast, and thank you so much for joining in, Saurabh.
Thank you, Amitesh. Thank you so much. Thanks for providing me the platform and inviting me for this wonderful podcast.
Yeah, so Saurabh, I think I'll just, before diving into some of the questions that uh, we ask our guest, one important thing that I would like you to maybe just find some light is, we always have faced these questions from our audience while we were doing your previous podcast, or maybe we were interacting with aspiring professionals, especially in tech industry, right? That our education system is such that you start off with a medium, and then suddenly the work medium, or the medium which in which the work is delivered, these two are completely different, and there is no there is no link to it, right? And so just want to start this conversation with your take on how in a shorter sense, right? Because obviously we'll deep dive your small snippets and small stories, but in larger sense, how easy or difficult it is for someone who is coming from a, say, a non-English background, uh, to have a career in tech right now.
Well, Amitesh, question is valid. It is difficult because when the person is coming from the local mediums, right? Because it's different education systems, because in India, as a versatile culture and versatile boards are there, examinations. Because some states have a different boards are there, and the work culture is totally different when you were demands. Because the demand is that you are good in communications, and when you're coming from your local language and local speakers, then that's the main challenge is how you communicate. Because in our schools, in our education, we are people's, we are not that much vocal. But first thing, we are not that much vocal, and second thing, we are more familiar on the local languages. And
Mm,
you go with the communications, it's required demands in the communication in English, right? So you have to understand, first is you have to understand the English. Because if you're coming with the local mediums, it's quite tough to understand the vocabularies, because main thing is the
mm,
vocabulary. Because sometimes you are like reluctant to understand what is the vocabulary actually. Few words are very fascinating that you cannot understand. You have to think about, okay, what is that word? And then first you understand, and most difficult is you have to speak. You
mm,
understand as another things, and you express your feeling, your response. That is another different steps. Because you understand that one, but you are not that vocal. So for local medium people, it's quite tough, because then you have to think, okay, what I need to say, what I need to communicate, and then you think
mm.
about what I need to say, and then you phrase it into your mind, and then you communicate. So that again take a time. So that is
Right.
difficult actually when you coming from the local language. Yes, but we can overcome of these scenarios, situations. Is
Mm.
just if you
Right.
want to make it, you have to more focus, you have to make more practice in this area, in this direction, and then step by step you can definitely conquer the world.
Yeah, I think we will take those advice from you, sort of that how you dealt with this barrier.
Sure.
But just I want to rewind that time and just want to understand, because it's quite a fascinating story, and just want to start from scratch, that how were you as a kid, right? What was your childhood like? Because uh, we had some conversation before we started the postcard, that where you're from. So I believe so we have some commonality into what kind of childhood we all had, um, from the places where we belong, right? So I just want to hear some amazing stories from your childhood, sort of where how was it like? How, just describe your early young childhood, sort of, yeah.
Okay, so Saurabh as a child, I say I coming. My background is I'm coming from the tier two cities. I'm
Yeah.
from UP, so I'm tier two cities, and that tier two cities are normal. There's low pace things. And Saurabh as a childhood is not. I'm not. I'll not say I'm a topper, but yes, I'm a above average candidate. And so I've tried hard everywhere. I tried to make it how I become the part of that league, right? So I tried everywhere, every class I tried to make it myself proven. I myself proven that, because I'm not in that league. So when you are not in that league, you try hard. So you tried, I tried those ones. So above average, I'm like, I was a person as a student. So when I say above average, I was like top five, top six people. I was there. But I'm a Hindi medium guy, so I used to understand, normally when we go with exams, schools, everything is there in Hindi medium, because we understand the mathematics and science is
Mm,
also in Hindi medium, right? And you think about how that moves when you go with the college and the schools, right?
mm,
You think you understand everything in Hindi. Now when you go to the college, and suddenly your paper or everything, the teachers explain you in English,
mm,
Then I was tough. Okay, oh, what he's trying. So rather than understanding what the concept he's trying to explain me, I was thinking about what he's trying to say. So I usually
mm.
keep a small pocket dictionary because, see,
Wow.
I'm a Hindi medium, so
Yeah.
I cannot understand. So I have to keep a small dictionary to understand that and what is the moving on. So first year is that one.
Mm. And
Normal.
for the audience, these were not the eras of phone where you would just pick out and start searching words and googling words, because this was early, maybe late 90s, early 2000, right? Uh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
At that time, you're correctly identifying that at that time there's a like no Google's. At least in India, it's like it's evolving. It's a very top level colleges and those have things. Ours, we have a schools in that where we have computers, but the computers is like only 30 minutes. And when
Mm.
you go into the room, you have to keep shoe off,
Yeah, yeah.
socks off, and then you on that moment 30 minutes is only there. You don't need to put too many things. So don't have a, that kind of luxury to do a Googles and all these ones. No.
Yeah, yeah, I think I remember, our, when we were in school, the idea of computer virus was, it was not something that generated by software zone. It was just that you have to remove shoes, because if you take dirt inside a computer classroom, then you might infect the computer, and
Yes. Yes.
that was the idea of computer virus for us, right? So this is the era that we are, for our
Exactly.
listeners who just want to relate to us, right? This is the era that we are talking about. But tell me one thing,
Yes.
Saurabh, right?
Yeah.
It was difficult. I understand, because coming from a Hindi medium, and just when you said that the moment you, it was okay till 12th, because obviously the test was in 12th, the examination was in the same medium that you were studying. But the moment you shifted to, say, your engineering college, right? Uh, how difficult was to imit, because this switch was large, this switch was huge, right? What was your experience, and how were you able to tackle these change, sort of?
Okay, so Amitesh, for me it was a hard because
Hmm,
coming from a background of a Hindi medium and switching to the completely English medium communications, it was very hard. At least for first year, it was very hard. It
hmm,
was, it was very not very hard. It's very hard for us because
hmm,
the challenges is first to understand with the English and then with the engineering subjects.
right,
So understanding, so it's like in this college you go and just write down the stuff what the teacher is explaining in the lectures, and when you come back to home and with the friends, you try to understand what they make it. So
right,
in college you just like at least first year is just like take the notes, whatever the teacher is explaining, you just take the notes, come back to the home, go with the friends and discuss with that one, and then understand the concept what he's trying to say in your local stuff, because
hmm.
you have to just take in a notes for that one. You don't have
Correct.
a,
Obviously, yeah, yeah.
so that was very tough. But yes, first year the thing the second point the in my case is first understand this one, and secondly to improve work on my English
Hmm,
communication. So at that moment I started working on my English every along with my subjects. I used to spend at least 40 minutes in the early morning to at least spend on the English. I take a newspaper, single newspaper, I try to reading those ones only, just try to
hmm,
read it. So I started reading that one. I started using the words, small words, communications, because then I started at that moment. Whenever I get a time to in the colleges, try to discuss with my seniors. Okay, how
wow.
can I get out of the situation for the
Right.
communication thing? So then they explain, okay, you at least you have to try to speak in English, maybe small words with your folks.
Hmm,
So at that moment, we are not because Hindi medium. So in colleges, we have like in our groups only, we will speak in English only because you cannot go in front of people. Okay, speak in English,
obviously.
and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
made a mistake, and then
yeah,
you are you are a person with a fond of mimicry, right? So
yeah.
within three or four people, we discuss only in English. Okay, let's discuss in English only. This okay, this subject, this topic, you'll explain in English only, small English. So
Hmm,
by that way, I just try to plan out to overcome with the situation along with my engineering. So first year is very tough for me, and then gradually I'm working on these ones first year, and then second year continuously I'm working on this direction along with the English, and then yes, finally fourth year I have a manageable English. I would not, I'd not say I'm a good fluent English communications and all those ones. No, I was manageable to understand the English and to understand my to express myself in in the in front of interviewers.
Yeah, I
And
think
that is a
interesting. Yeah, fascinating, really fascinating because when obviously there are a lot of similar stories that I have also faced, right? And one very interesting advice that someone gave me, right? Very similar to you while practicing reading newspapers, reading articles uh, in English. There was one very fascinating advice, and someone gave me that generally the challenge is in getting words formed, right? Sentences formed when you are trying to speak, right? So he told me that think in English because
yes,
as a as someone who's coming from vernacular medium, we generally don't think in we think in our mother tongue, right? Be it Hindi, be it Bengali, Tamil, whatever it is, we
hmm,
think in our mother tongue because that's very comfortable to us, right?
yes,
uh, to improve that communication of the articulation that we call, right?
yes.
uh, we should start thinking in English, and that really helped me a lot. So I think apart from reading and listening stuff, you should always maybe try to think in English because that will improve the efficiency, right?
Correct. Agree 100%. You should think in English, then only you can try to start speaking English. Because whenever you think in your local language, then you think
Mm,
very, okay, I will answer this question by this way. When we're trying
mm,
to translate those ones, you didn't find the word basically,
right.
right? So when you think in English, okay, maybe you can form small word in your mind and then you speak it. That would only help. If you think in your local language, that will be tough to translate those uh, your
Mm,
thoughts into your words, into the sentences. That is very difficult.
right, right.
So yes, that's true.
And this is a very gradual process, right? Because you mentioned that it's not a 30-minute or 1 day effort, right? It has
Yes,
to be born throughout next 10, 15 years. And so it must be not only college, right? Because right after college also, I think you were not the one who directly got a job or maybe
yes,
were appeared for the placements and all, right? It took you time to get a first job after college, right? So how was that time, Saurabh? Because it must be tough, right? And the struggle is already done, right? uh, but again, the core purpose of joining a college was not met immediately after completion of college, right? So that time must have been really difficult. And just walk me through those times and how was your emotional state? How were you feeling? Because this is something that a lot of young graduates must be feeling right now. So just open up a little bit on that front, sir, because I want them to take some inspiration of this state of yours when you were just passing out of graduating after out of your engineering school.
sure, Amitesh. So, Amitesh, when you in the college, right, you have a big dreams. Okay, you are doing engineering, right, and you think about, okay, I'll become this engineer and that I'll do this kind of stuff. But when you pass out, the reality is different.
Mm,
For me, the reality is because I'm a local college student, right? I'm a
mm,
local language. Then I try to manage English, and then when you understand the English, when you're outside of those colleges and you think about the job world, the corporate world, then again the tough situation is that the English you understand, and the college intro and the engineering, the company intro is totally different. Because in college intro you explain, okay, I am doing this, I pass out this one. When you go into the company interviews, they are expecting differently.
yeah.
Expected. So that is also a introduction, is also a tough challenges for me, at least for my or similar kind of my folks. Like, okay, what you will to explain to the when the interviewer asks, okay, explain yourself or how. Then it's all again a tough question, was introduce yourself. So you have to take a at least 1 minute introduction, and that 1 minute is very tough. That what you will capture in those 1 minutes, right?
Mm,
And my journey was, I pass out in the college, and it took me more than a year to grab job. I mean, like, I used to rush everywhere where I get the job opportunity. Like in the, I usually, what happened, we don't have an internet available, readily available that moment, right? So
mm,
at that time, the 30 kbps internet speed was there, and for that I go to cyber cafe, and for
mm,
that cyber cafe they charge normally 30 to 40 rupees, 30 to 50 rupees for per hour.
per hour,
So
yeah.
go check your emails, download that what interviews are coming, right? And the point is, I'm on the my hometown city, right? And the interviews, the companies are in the tier 1, like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai and Delhi, right? So when you get the interview, so it's immediate interview, you cannot reached out,
Yeah.
right? So you have to like, okay, when the interviews are coming like 4 or 5 days, then list it down which interviews, then note it down, prepare the resume, then apply those applications. So we prepare the application, send this resume over the rights, and luckily if you got a chance, like I got a interview calls of the few of the offline interviews, so like top to Indian top companies. So Pune, Bangalore, not Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad. So you get it, and then you used to go with the by train Lucknow to Pune.
Wow.
It's like taking time, and then you reach there, and then for places where you don't have any colleague or anything, right? So you go, you stay, because in Lucknow the train, the timing is different, right? So you reach there, you stay 1 or 2 days in lodge or anywhere, so to stay and to just crack it, just try to
Mm.
make it, right? And over those ones, the offline campus are very tough, because in online, when you're in the college, you
Competition
have
very.
a
Yeah.
limited people act. In offline, there's thousands of people, like they are
Competition.
letting the interviews in the batches. Okay,
Mm.
3 days and examination is going on. Out of 3 days, like 2 lakhs people, and then few thousand or few hundred people got selected.
Yeah.
The chances are very very rare. And when you go way around from Lucknow to these cities, outside cities, it's very tough, and you come back with the blank hands, and it's well, okay, you go given the exam but didn't got a success, right? So I roam around almost all the cities like in India, Delhi, then Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, even for the other places I also travel, Calcutta as well, for the jobs and all those ones. I try to struggle, and at the moment I'm searching for the government jobs and PSUs and engineerings. I've tried a lot, and then
Mm.
after a year, so when I came, I few of my friends who was in Delhi, they suggested me, okay, do come to Delhi, and because this roaming around won't help you, you
Correct.
have to stay somewhere and then you sort it out, because then at least you understand that interviews are there. You'll give us some more interviews
Mm.
at that moment, right? So I came to Delhi. When I coming to Delhi, I told, because almost a year was there, right? So I told my father, I said, okay, because they understand my situation that I'm trying to
Yeah.
search
Yeah.
job for a year and I haven't get a success, right? So he said, no, don't worry. So I'm very I'm little bit getting frustrated at that moment. So I told my father, okay, I borrow 5,000 rupees from my father. I said, okay, uh, Papa, I'm going to Delhi, and I'll come back when I will get the job only.
Wow.
So at that moment, I remember that one February uh, was the there, and at that moment I came out for that, took 5,000 rupees from my borrow my 5,000 rupees from my father, and then I came back to Delhi. I come stay with my friends. We have like a small flat as there, one room where like 7 to 8 people we are staying there. So used to we get over there, we have a news magazines and the internet was there. So we used to search their jobs portals, and there's lots of interviews are going on in NCR. So
Right.
every day the target is at least every day I have to give in it 2 interviews. The target is
Mm.
that one is the morning and possibly go to the, so I selected the places, like suppose I'm going to Noida, so I selected 2 interviews in Noida. Maybe
Mm.
one is early morning and second one is a maybe 4 or 5 kind of. So trying to make this one. So I used to go take bags and 10 resumes I carry normally along with my papers and books and all those ones. I try to give in that one interviews. And one is also tough part for me, Amitesh, is I was electronics background, right?
Whoa.
And
Mm.
at that moment when I joined it, that was a boom of the electronics.
Correct.
But when I came out from the college, then we understand that electronics is booming industry, but not for the tier two colleges or tier three
Right.
colleges, right? They are coming only into on the tier one or pedigrees,
Right.
right? So that is also tough situation, because I'm electronics background, and for me it's very very tough. Then I search it, then that understand that what is good for me, at least
Mm.
take to me next level. Then I come to know that okay, no, electronics won't work for me. I have to change my stream from electronics to computer science. Why computer science? Because for me computer science is like a similar one, because electronics
Mm.
background was there, we understand few things, because in the colleges electronics and at least
Right.
1 or 2 semester we used to. So
Mm.
it at least, and the best part is that my friends was in that same industry. They're
Nice.
not in big shots, they are at least they got the job. So they, okay, you come with me, stay with me, we will teach you. So I
Mm.
don't have like that much of amount that okay, go and take a teach coaching and all those ones, right? Because there are lots of training centers are these days, lots of trainings are going on online, offline. At those times there's a no training kind of, right? Online is definitely not, offline training centers are there, but that was a too costly, and when you have a 5,000 in your pocket and you don't know when you will back. So I have only choice to at least study own with my own and with my friends.
Mm.
So over the thing at that moment, they used to come like 7 or 8 p.m, and then we have our dinner, and post at 11 p.m they teach me
Wow.
1 or 2 hours, and morning till 4 a.m I used to study over that one and then identified. So this journey, like this situation continue like 3 to 4 months continuously. I just grab the stuff
Mm.
from computer science, basic stuffs, that how to do programmings. I do programs, do the codings at my own. Nothing is there, so I
Mm.
practice. Then I prepared in the computer systems, and my friend used to check those systems. Okay, whether you have making the correct coding or not. And
Very
then
nice.
finally, after that, lots of back and forth, I landed my first job. That is a consulting company. That's a third party payroll. I got it, and
Mhm.
at that moment, I got a job of 8,500.
Wow.
At
So I
that
think
moment, that is the
amazing, you know.
best thing. Okay, then I called my father. Okay, I got it. Yes, I know, but I
Mm.
got. At that moment, at least I landed first thing. I got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
first paycheck of 8,500 rupees for me.
And I think so it does not matter, right? Then the money does not matter. Your first,
Money
when
does not
you,
matter when you landed into the first job,
yeah,
man.
it was amazing. I think so. The I am short of words, but what I'm trying to convey here, Saurabh, is a theme that has been throughout your uh, journey, right, from college or school days, right, and to college, then to first job, right? It's a constant focus on just putting efforts, right? And without worrying the results. Obviously, results are, and it's been there since ages, right? कि भैया कर्म करो, फल की इच्छा ना करो, and lot of stories around that. You focus on process, you focus on what is in your control, and the rest will follow suit, right? So to all the folks, and from taking cues from Saurabh's story, he has done this in an era where the information asymmetry was there. People used to don't have information, right? If you are in a tier one city, then you might have that information. But if you are not in tier two city, if not in tier one, tier two or tier city, that you are not really aware of situation, right? But that era is gone. People are having information. They are aware about a lot of things, irrespective of their location, irrespective of their mediums, right? So a lot of barriers have been broken, right? There'll be different challenges. I'm not saying that there are challenges will be not there. The challenges will be different, right? Maybe the competition has also risen, right? Compared to what we used to have in 90s and 2000, right? Uh, but whatever happens, right, the constant effort or motivation to keep on doing the same thing consistently, day in and day out, again and again, that is what persistence is all about. That is what passion is all about, right? Um, so, sort of, I want to just understand from you, giving 150 interviews in couple of weeks and couple of months, and from there managing and creating a team of 150 folks under your leadership. How's that journey been? Because this is this was a journey of struggle and consistently keeping on doing one thing. Now this is a journey of giving 150 interviews to managing 150 people. This is a journey of success. This is a journey of reaping your the seeds you have shown, right? Walk me through that, because this is another fascinating journey I would like to understand, sort of.
Sure, Mitesh. So yes, interviews, and my focus was at that moment is like there's no alternative of the hard work, right? You have to
Perfect.
keep consistent, you have to continuously doing the hard work, because in your life it's up to you whether when you want to do that hard work, right? At any
Mm,
moment you have to just define that when you want to do, either you want to do that hard work later, earlier, but there's no alternative of the hard work, or you can say these days the smart work is there, but
mm,
again work is there. And when I got my first, and then I was like, from the initial days as well, like I was very ambitious continuously. When I say ambitious, I keep, I'm not a people who just satisfy with the one stuff. If I got
Right.
one, then I focus. My next challenge will be what is the next step for me? What is the next step to grow myself? So I keep continuously focusing on what is the next step for me. Now I'm reached my first job. What is the next step? So then over that, when I started learning the latest technologies, the market trends, how the things are moving. So in that journey I started working on the course, because earlier I was not aware of the computer science. Now I understand the basics. Now my focus is to expertise in those ones. So initial
Mm,
target is, initial days, the target is grab as much as knowledge in the terms of designs, in terms of architecture, system designs, logics, algorithms, work on that. So I work on next 2 years on these, only focuses on these ones, that how much I grab it, these expertise myself. Because at that moment I didn't stop giving the interviews. That's
mm,
the first part. Like post that interview, post of landing the first job, because interview gives you two things. First is giving you the evaluation of yourself,
right.
that where are you, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly it's giving you that how the market is evolving, what
Mm,
is what you need to learn into the market. Because you understand, okay, the thing is, I know this one, this is trending. No, maybe next moment, maybe something other things is evolving into the market. If you in that journey, you will be the early birds. So only early birds can get the maximum discounts, right? Only
mm,
early birds. Later birds, definitely you will enjoy the things, but who pitch in into the early, those
mm,
people will get the benefits of the early birds, right? So then I started moving, giving the interviews. Post 2 years I landed into my second job.
mm,
After that one, my focus is, because I earlier target was like come from Lucknow to NCR, right?
mm,
I've been there NCR 4 or 5 years. Then the focus is then we started looking at, okay, people in NCR, okay, the dream is not NCR. Here we understand, okay, the target is, the world is not here. The world is, people are going outside of the
right.
country, US, Europe. Then okay, US is also be there. Okay, then when we're discussing people, they are simply like, okay, yeah, I'm going to US. Okay, I thought, yeah,
Mm.
for me, it's like a kind came from Lucknow to Delhi is a big achievement for me. Now
Correct.
that my achievement got slowed down, because then I really think, okay, yeah, it's not the end of my things. I have to be there. But more and more things are available which I can avail,
Right.
which I can try to get it.
Mm,
Then I worked on those directions. I preparing excellence in my areas, understanding the things, and then I got the opportunity to travel the world. Then I got my first opportunity to go to US.
mhm,
I've been there in the US and 1.5 year, and then multiple times I worked there. I got multiple accolades over the into the my second job. I
mhm,
started my second job. I got landed into the senior software engineer, and
mhm.
I moved. I got 3 promotions over there in my second
Wow.
job in the next 4 years. When I came back, I work as an associate consultant, and who
Mhm,
were at that when I trained multiple people. So I part of a training as well, uh, in evolving myself, understanding to explore myself, giving the trainings of the people, leading of the team of the 10 to 5 peoples over there, grabbing the understanding and get the expertise over the team management as well. That how, because
mm,
ultimately you cannot succeed with the one thing, right? it's
right.
it's a combination. People are looking for the combination. When you
Mm,
say combination, so it's anything, right? If you know are in the computer science field, right, an engineer is there, so it doesn't mean that you only do a coding, right?
correct.
As soon as you mature, as soon as you've grown up into the experience, you have to be combination of the other skills as well, which are required to fulfill your job,
Mm,
right? The team management, how you will work on the team management, the estimations, the system designs, the architecture, how you will do the trainings, even team management, right? The trainings, that is also part of you, because when you become a team lead, you have to nurture your
yeah.
team as well,
Correct.
right? You have to
Mm,
grown up your team. So that is also part of your job, so that you understand that how you will grow, right?
mm,
And how you make other people's grow as well. Because if I don't make my other people's grow, then I cannot grow myself as a leader,
mm, mm, mm,
right? At that in Infogain, I understand in my second company, I understand that one, okay, this is the way I have to grow it.
mm,
I've been there 4.5 years approximately. I was there. I reached at that level in my company, my second organizations, where the thing is, what was like, I found that one, that's now the saturation is coming
mm,
at that moment, and I have to look out that
mm,
not in the place. Now I have to start looking out that. So
mm,
I know very well when I need to come out my stage. That's
right.
like saturations level. One thing is called the saturation, or you can say comfort level. You
Got
have
it.
to understand that you never should reach your comfort level. Unless if you stay in your comfort level, you cannot grow. As soon as you become into the comfort level, then again you understand that when your that stagnancy will become out. Then
So, so,
it's
so,
the
uh, so sort of just on this topic, let's like touch upon a little bit more, right?
uh
When you say a person spends time in a company, and then they obviously uh, everybody have their own half life in the company, right? The time they spend in their company. So, what are the certain things that you should be looking at? What is the right time to maybe switch a company? What are those thought processes that they should be thinking while maybe if they have thoughts of things switching a company? What are the things that they should be considering when they are in such situation?
okay. So when you need to switch the company is a point of first thing is that the continuous learning, right?
Mm,
If you think that your learning is about to stop,
mm,
right, then you have to think through. The point is that one, because fair enough, people, there are lots of people are there who don't want to change, that people stay in the company more than a 10-15 years as well. I'm not saying that
mhm,
those are wrong. There's nothing wrong and right in this
mm,
area, right? In that, because every person have a different strategy to work in. The
mm,
person, every person wants different thing, or demands have a different thing, right? The person who is ambitious, who is looking around that one, then you have to understand that first thing, your learning should not be stopped, right? Second thing, you have to understand the comfort level. If you are
got it.
reaching a comfort level, okay,
Mm,
you know the thing is there and you have to make it job, right? You know there's a 9 hours, and I that job, whatever I'm doing it, that's completing in the next 4 hours. It means 4 hours I have it. Either I
mm,
have to utilize those 4 hours or I will waste it. In that meaning, it means somehow you are wasting your 4 hours, right? So you have to put those into right direction. Then what is that one, that comfort level, for to overcome those situations you have to challenge yourself,
mm,
right? And if you want to grow,
mm,
these two things, right? First is
mm,
learning, second one is a comfort level. If you challenge every moment, then you easily understand by yourself, okay, now I've reached to my comfort level, now I know what my job is, and I'll complete next 2 or 3 years, and rest I will enjoy.
right.
It means you know that, right? You are enjoying the stuff.
Mm,
Then the next thing is that one, what you want to enjoy, that's fair enough, that's
mm,
also your choice, right? And if you want to grow, then the word is yours, right? The outside is too many things are
same.
there. You have to challenge yourself. But once you, before challenging yourself, you have to understand that you have to come out to comfort level, because the challenge is, again, you have to establish yourself from the ground zero. So you
Mm,
have to leave your comfort level, whatever the kingdom you prepare, right? The
mm,
kingdom you prepare in next last 4 years or 5 years. Now you have to come out and again start a journey as a solo traveler, and then you
wow.
again reestablish your kingdom again, right?
Mm,
That is a major challenge, right? For those ones, you have to mentally ready that, okay, nobody's there. You have only, you are the person who help yourself,
correct.
right? You have to look around that one, and you should be just be proactive, and
Mm,
just looking around surrounding that what the thing is going on. So you have to be, we can say, multi modes or multitasking kind of. You have to
got
understand
it.
what the thing is going about your
Mm,
surrounding, how you grow, what the thing is going into the market. You have to understand
mm,
all the things. And the first most important thing to get into the organizations, you have to understand what the other organizations, what the other people are looking at.
right.
Because the thing is, people are facing very challenges when you come to the new organization. Okay, no, yeah, that organization is not good. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that. The point is that one, you have to understand what your leaders is expecting from yourself. What is the
Mm,
expectation from you?
mm, mm,
You have to channelize, or you can see, the way I say, you have to understand what is expectation from the person, the interviewer, from you, and what
mm,
you are expecting from the company as well. It's a both way expectation, it's a compliment for each other,
correct.
right? Doesn't mean every company is for you, or every people want to give.
Mm,
It seems
mm,
the expectation mismatch, so expectation
mm,
should be matched what they're expecting.
mm, mm,
And then you have to put yourself, so portray yourself in that way, that what the people, other people are expecting from yourself,
mm.
right?
So,
What
so
they
it's a
think.
combination. What I understand, sort of, it's a combination of understanding, kind of creating a scenario of future for yourself that I want to see myself, say, like this in say 5 years, and creating an ecosystem or an environment around that. What are the things that will be required to be there, right?
Yes.
If I want to become, say, pursue something, right? So there are steps that you will take to reach that goal, right?
Yes,
And how do
yes.
you prepare those steps? So that is something that one have to preempt in their mind that yes, these are the steps, and once they feel that yes, to take these steps or to reach where I want to be, if a switch is required, then why not take that leap of faith, right? And if we can achieve that your goal by staying in a company, that is also a fair possibility, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's absolutely, there's no harm to stay in the company, right? Until
Hmm.
unless you are getting the things what you want. Suppose I want this and I want this, whatever I'm getting it. If
Hmm.
I am agreed with that one, if I'm fine that this you my expectation is this and I'm getting this, there's no
Hmm.
harm to stay in the organization. That is also good.
Correct.
Stability is also a factor, right?
Hmm.
But if you want to change something, then you have to look out what you want, right?
Right.
Are you simply put the effort what you want to support? The thing
Hmm.
is as well, Amitesh, when you're working in the company, right? So if I
Hmm.
say, okay, I'm not, I'm not getting the things what in my company is offering, right?
Hmm.
So with the second question, we have to, before moving outside, we have to look out whether I explored all the options in my current company. Maybe the other
Hmm.
verticals are there, other
Maybe, yeah.
opportunities are awaiting, but I don't know, or I'm not exploring those opportunities, right?
Hmm.
So better first try to within that area, because that area is yours. People know you, right?
Hmm.
You understand the culture as well, right? Then you understand the things. If you know it, then it's very good.
Hmm.
If that post that analysis, if you're unable to make it, then you have
Hmm.
to look outside. And for that outside, again, you have to prepare yourself. That what the thing is going into the market, your plan should be, basically it's not saying you have to prepare your things with the planning. So if I want to become an architect, a solution architect, then what the things are required? I cannot go randomly, okay, I need a solution architect, and I find the
It's
things.
a
Okay,
journey that you have to live.
it's
Yeah.
a journey, right? You cannot understand five of things and go into the market and say, okay, because when it's come to the practical, now you will be fail, right? So
Right.
journey you have to achieve. It's a planning you have to make it step by
Absolutely.
step. That planning you should make it continuously.
Cool. I think well, this conversation is going amazingly well. Just to spice up a little bit, I'll do a quick fire with you, Saurabh. To maybe some question will put you on spot. We'll not try to make it a copy with current kind of scenario, but yes, we'll try to make it, uh, you know, uh, as as fun as we can. Okay.
Sure.
Let's go. You want to you're like a person where you want to go with the flow or just plan it and then kill it.
Then first plan it and kill it. I don't know the way.
Awesome. Delhi NCR or Bangalore? This is a tough
This is a
one.
tough. This is a tough for an IT guy or engineer. Uh, Preferably NCR, but
Okay,
open for the bound
nice.
opportunities.
Government job or private?
Uh,
Up to option
Government.
नहीं बचा. Now you don't have any option.
Uh, Definitely private job, because government, I believe, is not a job; it's a government service. So I
Right.
chose serve the nation.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Awesome. Uh, you want to seek people uh, on like attitude, or you want to judge people them on skills?
attitude,
You like to have people who are individual contributors. You like to have people who are team players.
team player, definitely.
Very nice. I think it's a good combination of uh, an organized person who have like seen it all, right? You want to strategize properly, have someone who can take things on their own, be accountable for their task that is given to them, right? So cool. So on that note, sort of just want to understand uh, uh, while because we discuss about attitude, skills, individual contributor, team player, all this stuff. So what you generally because obviously you being a leader that you are right now, you are obviously looking for a lot of people in your under you, working with you, colleagues, right? So when you hire people, what do you actually look in the candidate? How do you judge them? And what maybe you also can put what are the difficulty that you face while hiring these folks, right? Because that will give them a lot of perspective on how to portray themselves or how to be prepared or prepare themselves for future interviews, right? So help me your process of hiring and what do you see in these candidates?
So Amitesh, usually I go when I take the interviews or in the part of any interview discussions. I usually
Hmm.
four or five things I will look out. The firstly
Hmm.
the attitude, the how the person attitude is there. right? What's second is the thought process, how he
Sure.
thinks through of the problem. Suppose I'm giving any problem, how much he's able to think about the problem, right? Is he clearly understand the problem or not? So thought process is very important for that. When the person is thinking what the thing he has it,
Mm,
right? And skill definitely is required for any
mhm,
things, but behavior, which is a part of attitude, is more important when you hire a people, right? Because in the long run you have to work with that, right? So
mm.
he has to thought process, attitude, and more or less, if I say how much, what I would say, a word.
Effort, maybe effort to solve the problem. Approach.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
effort, approach, exactly. So these things are the combinations when people, when I look out the people, because many interviews you've seen that okay, people just give up that one, right?
Mm, mm,
Just think
mm.
about the problem. What is the problem? What they are actually, people quickly jump into the solutions, right? Don't
Right.
jump into solutions. Understand the problem. What is the exact problem you have? Once you understand problem, the solution is not far behind, right?
Mm,
Unless you have the understand that what is the exact problem is there. So yes, approach is important for that one. How you're solving the approach, right? And
yes.
effort. These things I usually look out the people when I go
Mm.
for the interviews and any discussions.
Any advice you would like to give, Saurabh? Because uh, you know, generally when we are taking interviews, we see that attitude is good, right? But what are the major challenges that you see? Some if someone is say portraying, so how can you define what a good attitude and bad attitude is, right? So can you just throw some light on that for people who are listening to us right now?
Okay, attitude is definitely, we have to, whenever we reach any problem, right? So we should not basically say to no, right?
Mm,
There's a word is called, okay, everything we should say no. There's a
mm,
different word is called, you can mold it the way that okay, you have a time to look into that one, you will come back on this one. If
mm,
you directly say no, because
mm,
these days people say okay, yeah, we simply says if you are unable to make it, just say no.
mm,
Think about that one, that definitely no is fine, you have to say no, but
mm,
it's, you have to just analyze that in front of which people you should say no, and in
mm,
front of which people you said the different answer, right?
mm,
So when I say no, so if I go with, if my with my immediate lead, right? If I'm
mm,
an engineer, if I'm immediate, then if I with my immediate lead I can say okay, boss, look, this is a 5 days work and it cannot be completed within 3 days.
mm,
Over my lead I can say that one, but over my account head I cannot say yeah, it cannot be happen.
mm,
Definitely it will happen, but by this cases are there,
mm,
right? Then only, because it's up to you how you portray that one, right? How you explaining the stuff. Because again, the second thing, the thing is, when you grab the stuff, suppose you get into the job, suppose that
mm,
one, there are few people these days are struggling to survive into the jobs, because lots of things, okay, 6 months, 8 months, they come up, okay, they believe that okay, they are not a scale, or company has fired you because of any number of reasons. Definitely
mm.
few cases are there,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Yes.
But for that one, you understand that nothing is right and wrong. If you come out, if you are any layoff from the any organizations or any
Mm,
company, it doesn't mean you are not capable.
mm.
It simply means the expectation is not matched.
Right.
You are expecting
Perfect.
something, organization have a different expectation and you have some different expectation, those are not matching. Simply,
Absolutely.
nothing is good or bad, you'll simply get, you have a quality, you will get the another job. There's a number of companies who are looking for that, right? So but expectation again, you have to understand what is expectation from you, that you have to match first thing, right? What is, understand with your leads, immediate leads, what is they are expecting with this job. And I would say this is the first question when like when people ask you, oppose an interview, right? What are you expecting from, any questions from you? So people normally people ask, okay, how was my interview, right? Will there be feedback from, so normally people should ask the question that what is
Right.
expectation from me, right? Then only understand, you understand the interview mindset, that what kind of uh, people he's looking.
Mm,
Then only understand that, what his expectation, then you understand what kind of work you will get into the company, right?
mm,
Are this, and maybe you are selecting the job, but
mm,
maybe the expectation is different from you. You got through the job, right? You grab the offer, but with this question you can understand, okay, the expectation is what he interview expecting is not, I'm not able to fulfill those ones. Maybe
mm,
when I land into the job, then it's better you can look out the other options, right? Because rather than going to same into the organization where the expectation
Yeah.
is mismatching,
Mm,
right? Maybe in next 6 months you have to again look out, or maybe some mishappening will be there, right?
mm,
That should be also be aligned with that. That is
mm,
also important. These days I've
right.
seen many things. People said,
Mm,
okay, I've grabbed this stuff, lots of interviews I've taken, very good
mm,
people I have taken. Then
mm.
later point of time, 8 or 9 months, something happened.
Right. So in short, sort of, I think what just kind of summarizing your thought process there, people should be able to rationalize their decision, that why they have taken this approach, or they have said no, or they have said yes. That the thought process behind that decision is this, right? If you
Yes.
you are able to kind of rationalize or articulate that thought process, people will see you in a different light, rather than just coming to a conclusion that yes, I will do it, or I will not do it. The reason I will do it, yes, because it seems doable, or there is a reason, and if the reason I'm not able to do it because of XYZ, right?
Yes.
And secondly, it's very important to understand, uh, you know, your competency, your circle of competency, and match it around the expectation that is in set for you, right? If
Yes.
someone is asked to maybe lead a team of 8, 10 people, right? And they are coming from a background where they have never led a team, right? That's a clear set of, expectation mismatch, right? And this
Yes.
needs to be called out very early in your career, or very early in the discussion, that this is something that I won't be able to do it. If at all you are envisioning me in that role, please give me some time, because it will take some time for me to learn the skills that is required to handle a team of it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No harm. Just no harm for that one. Definitely, articulations and competency matching is important factor, and there's a no harm to get the things, because then you understand the expectation, right? And based upon the
Hmm.
expectation, you can prepare yourself. Okay, my next role is, suppose I am looking, my next role is lead level role.
Hmm.
For lead level role, what are the requirements? What are the competencies required? Am I skilled
Right.
those ones or not? If
Hmm.
not, it's a right time to start that one, because then I will reach at least next 3 months. My target is, you have to prepare the milestones, right? These
Absolutely.
milestones is there. Okay, I have to learn team building skills, maybe from Udemy or from multiple
Hmm.
academies are there. From learning
Hmm.
these, then with these milestones, maybe 3 months I'm down the line, I'm able to win, and post 3 months I will start that one, right?
Right.
So you have to define your milestone. Otherwise, it will be n number of things, right? You are doing a PhD.
Hmm.
Team lead, nothing. Nobody, no one is perfect in the team leads, right?
Yeah.
So yes, articulation and competency is
Hmm.
important, and you know what is your competency is there, and you have to very well know for the articulation that what is required.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. Perfect. I think. So, Saurabh, I don't want to end this podcast, but somehow, we are closing in on almost we're touching the 1 hour mark. But I would like, there are, I think, 5, 4 questions that we have got from our audience. I would
Sure.
like to pick two that it seems very relevant to what we have discussed. Um, I'll pick two of them. Maybe we can answer one by one. Saurabh, the question is, from your experience, what would you say are the top 3 key qualities that have contributed to your success as a leader? Maybe, any top 2, top 3, whatever comes to mind. I can say one, obviously, by your journey, I can say certainly one. Maybe you can add a couple of them, yeah?
So for me, the which the quality, or you maybe say the competency which work for me is, I would say, uh, what I chose the word is, for me that things worked is consistency.
Right,
First thing, you should be consistent. You should be goals oriented.
right.
You cannot go without a goal. You should be goal oriented. That what is your next goal, and continuous work and articulation. You should be,
Nice.
when you define the goal, then you should work on this rather than deciding that one. Post that one, you have to act on it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So consistency, goal, and uh, continuously effort is important for me to
Awesome.
at least reach at my.
Perfect. One more question, Saurabh. This is an interesting, and maybe I think we might have touched upon these area, but again, I think we can add more layers to it. What are some common mistakes or pitfalls that developers should be aware off and try to avoid as they are beginning their careers?
Okay, beginning of the careers
Because
normally.
obviously the time has changed, right? For us,
Yes.
our problems were different, right? So now you are seeing people, you are hiring people. So what are the certain pitfalls that you might want to advise them that yes, please avoid being like this or doing this stuff, doing that stuff, right?
Yes, when you are in a job, few things very basic. I've seen that one very recently. So first thing is that one, you should be well communicated. When I say well communicated, well informed, basically not well communicated, well informed.
Hmm.
So whatever you are doing, suppose you are doing anything,
Hmm.
you should discuss your approach with your leads or your
Hmm.
immediate manager, whosoever is senior. Suppose you're reporting to engineer, immediate manager, whosoever is immediate reporting, you have to discuss with those ones that what is your approach. Well informed, whatever you are doing it, before anything, inform that one, and take the ownership.
Right.
Ownership is the key things which is more important as of now. So when I say ownership, it means suppose your lead has given you a task. Okay, the thing is you have to get the task, understand what is the expectation from the task, what is a question, what is a problem you are solving it, what is acceptance of those problems. So when I say problem is solved, so how could I measure that problem is solved?
Right.
So right, so for that one, for understand the problem, what is acceptance of those problem, that when we say the problem is solved, discuss the approach. Okay, this is approach I got it to solve this problem. Validate your thought process with your immediate needs, and inform those ones, and ownership is there. Complete it, develop it, test it, and deliver it, because that give the confidence your leads, okay, that you are the person who can take the ownership. Then they can
Right.
give you a more important task for you.
Correct.
Okay, other than completing the task, okay, I'm completing my task, I'm done. Suppose that when if you leave that one, it means you're just following it.
Hmm.
But when you take this level, that it's give you that you are a genuine mature developer, and
Right.
you would be responsible, and maybe you are the good candidate for the next level as well. It doesn't mean that you have
Awesome.
to spend 2 years to become a senior software engineer. I've seen the
Yes.
people 8 months people become that one.
Correct. Correct. Right. Very well said. I think, Saurabh, it was all full of wise words, full of information, amazing story. I too thoroughly loved it. I think not only did I relate to your journey, but a lot of us who's listening to this and who will listen to this podcast in future, they will be absolutely thrilled to know that coming from such humble beginnings, struggled a lot, and now here you are, creating some next big things in the tech world, right? So, any parting comments to our listeners who are uh, obviously to our viewers who are watching and to our listeners will be listening to your wise words in future. Any final words, sort of to them?
Final words. I'm from Hindi, right? So normally people
Yeah,
think about
yes,
Hindi
please.
only.
I think
But I will try to. I'll try to say the people who are listening to me, guys. You are at maybe at very beginning of this your stages, right? Some are very demotivated or not getting this. Don't demotivate it. Just keep focus and keep practicing.
mm,
Just keep focusing, keep practicing. Definitely you will get the success. But don't demotivate yourself. If one
mm,
job is or an interview got failed, the first thing you will get it what? You'll get the question back,
mm,
right? If you given an interview and you would fail, then you'll get the questions that what the people mindsets. So
mm,
don't demotivate yourselves. Keep your morale high, keep practicing, and keep focus on your like what you want to make it.
right.
Thank
And on that note, Saurabh, I just want to kind of bring a small story uh, of
you.
not getting demotivated, right? And to our audience also, there was a guy called Jan. Then his name is Jan, Jan. He used to live in a small village in Kiev, Ukraine, obviously amidst a lot of news and everything right now, not good state, right? And this is the story of I think early 90s again, from our era as we call it, right? So he was living with his parents in a you can obviously not a very developed state close to Russia and all these things. So uh, not a very rich family, very small family, humble background. So they had to move to California because of finding obviously new life, new focus, new ambition. With when he was I think around 12, 13 years of age old, right? Um, And in California, they lived on the food stamps, right? When government used to give refugees
Hmm.
every day, right?
Yes.
But that guy Yan was very passionate about programming, networking, and all these things. He used to go to libraries, borrow books. He used to skip meals to study and learn programming. And he used to he kept on doing this day in and day out for next 5 years, 10 years, right? Without worrying for the results and everything. Uh, he met so they joined one group called it's a hacker group that they joined. They started discussing. He met one of his friends called Brian there. They started learning and studying together because new stuff, borrowing books, no like huge internet age, right? That time they kept on doing their stuff which they liked, right? And they had a very small belief in them, right? That whatever they develop, whatever they will build very clean, very minimal, solving problems, right? No, so they used to write a placard in front of them, right? Whenever at their table, their desk, right? That no ads, no games, no gimmicks. So whatever they used to build, they used to follow these theory, this passion, this vision, right? Then they gave interview with in California. Obviously, they gave interview with a lot of folks. Every time they were getting rejected. They gave interview with Facebook in early 2001, 2002, and they both of them got rejected, Jan and Brian, right? No, but again, I think cut short to 10 years from there on, 2019, their startup or the product which they built was acquired by Flipkart. Sorry, not Flipkart, was acquired by Facebook uh, for a staggering $19 billion, right? And the company that we are talking about is none other than WhatsApp, right? And these guys created WhatsApp. So, this
Yes.
acquisition itself stands as one of the most significant testament to what commitment, passion, and consistency can achieve, right? Even when the odds seem stacked against them. So the journey we're discussing is of Yan Combs, right? Yan Combs' journey from a teenager living on food stamps in a foreign country to becoming the founder of something that really revolutionized the entire messaging ecosystem, right? It
Correct.
shows us that with true commitment, and obviously it was reflecting in your journey as well, right? You chose friends. So Brian was something your friends did to you when you were in NCR. You collaborated, you discussed something, right? um, then again, you went on consistently doing something that provided some sense to it, could give a lot of information. So yeah, I think it shows us that dreams and passion, uh, that burns to the darkest of night, it seems improbable, can really become something inevitable in your life, right? So on that note, Saurabh, I think I really want to, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being so kind to let your journey come in front of us. And obviously, I am damn sure it will also not only enlighten us but inspire a lot of people who are listening to this podcast. Saurabh.
Thank you, Amitesh. Thank you so much. I also would like to thank you for providing me a platform to share my journey, and I will try to boost up the other people. I'm not sure how much I influenced, but folks, all the best for your career, for your future journey. Yes.
Yep, yep.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
folks.
thank you so
Thank you,
much. Thank
everyone.
you
Thank
again
you.
for tuning in. Will please do follow us on all the platforms. We'll bring you another fascinating episode in coming days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.